Hey, so I probably should have made this like a very long time ago. Not a very long time ago, like in the last week, obviously, but um, the fact that like I hadn't made it and I thought about it, I thought it like I should definitely make this. So, yeah, to me, this is the best episode of Super in the series so far. It only took 100 episodes for it to get there, but this was an episode where I was like, yeah, okay, I definitively think like this feels like I'm watching like an episode of Dragon Ball Z. Not that it didn't have its problems though, and not just well, yeah, I would say more so Dragon Ball Z than Dragon Ball. Um, and probably it could be something that I could see happening within the Dragon Ball manga, like if I was back then reading it. Well, more so the Z portion of the Z portion of the manga than the first part. But yeah, I thought this was the best episode in the show so far. Uh, Pretty good episode, pretty strong episode. That being said, I did have I there were two problems I had. Um, but yeah, Dispo versus Hit, pretty good, I gotta say. The thing is, I kind of wish that rather than it, so the thing with the Pride Troopers, like I was saying, I've probably mentioned this in a stream before, but I always felt I feel like there's too many like Ginyu Force references now within, especially now that Super has started. Like I look at the Pride Troopers and then I look at those like even though I like Ribrianne, like the Universe 2 people, and so like there's always like these parodies like on set on like Sentai and like groups of like heroes and stuff. Although in the case of Ginyu, and I guess somewhat in the case of the Pride Troopers, they're sort of like villains. And I say like somewhat for the Pride Troopers because they're obviously not the heroes. That's the Universe 17. Um, but the and even though I like Dispo and the fact that he goes fast, I just can't help but think of Birder. But that wasn't the problem I was thinking about because, like I said, like even though like he moves like extremely fast, that's fine. That doesn't really. I mean, I don't think that's like an ununique power to have, I guess. But I mean, the fight in itself was awesome. Like the first instance, like when you see like Hit and like he goes like and like he puts like his arms out and then starts to go like fast as shit, and then Dispo does the same. That like 5 minutes or 5 second scene was like I was like, oh shit! Like now this feels like Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, I mean, I really like the fight. And then Goku coming in and quote unquote saving Hit. That was pretty cool. I like that. Um, that being said, though, Kunchi, like I said, like a lot of these characters, and I guess it's okay here because like not everyone is expected to be like a Goku, Vegeta, Hit, or Jiren, but Kunchi, his power, explosive waves, just kind of feels too cheap and too inconsequential for that to be for us to take it seriously. Like even as like a lower member of the Pride Troopers, like even Goldo had like stopping time and you know so that's one thing. um but yeah, I like the episode was good. To talk about the problems, so yeah, like I said, Kunchi's cables I think was one thing, but then the other thing was like Hit having to resort to his heart. So there's like a moment in the episode where like Kunchi's like he's quote unquote like surrounded Hit, or like his feet at least, with like his key cables or his key wires. And I think that's really dumb because Hit, like, I don't want to say that he had to resort to it, but he just did it. It made the dialogue and the scenario in itself made it seem like he had to resort to it. So Hit having to resort to his heart attack when Kunchi has the cables, I thought was very dumb because one, he can just fly, two, he can just jump over it, or three, what Super or what like Goku does as Super Saiyan Blue later, where he just rushes it and brushes it off. He could have just done that. So there was like three different ways for him to do that. I mean, not that the heart attack in itself was bad. I mean, sure, like it's just like yeah. I mean, I think it's perfectly natural for a character like if he's like surrounded by like weak shit or like things that probably wouldn't affect him to just like hurl out attack. Yeah, that's fine. But I just didn't like how like the dialogue like made it seem like you're surrounded, ha 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 ha. Like any like I don't think even a dumb fighter like say like Nappa or Kun would say something like that if they had that sort of power, right? So that's one thing that I didn't like. The other thing I didn't like was how Hit hits Dispo the first time. So apparently Hit is able to hit. Okay, so the thing is like Dispo is like hitting Hit like for a number of reasons. One, he's like faster than light, and two, he's like hearing the sound that Hit's muscles make when he like activates his time skip. So then Hit is somehow able to, and Hit is somehow able to control his own muscles to imitate the sound that his muscles make when he uses the time skip. But that's not the problem. Like I think that's fine. Like if you're like a trained martial artist to be able to control like any muscle in your body, that's believable to me. Especially like in Dragon Ball where it's just like super alien, superhuman, superpower stuff. The problem that I have though is that for some reason he doesn't use the hit. He doesn't use the time skip. And Dispo still moves faster than light, and Hit still hits him without using the time skip. That to me I didn't get at all. The second time that Hit is able to like overcome Dispo's like speed difference, and I say speed because speed time not necessarily one and the same, right? Because speed is distance over time, time is just like a unit. But that's just like me getting overly technical and scientific. But I get how he overcomes that like the second time, when he has like the whole time mirage thing, um, which I was in that filler with Goku if I'm not mistaken. But I don't understand like how he hit him the first time. Like I would assume like it was a feint of some kind, but it's the job of the of the episode and the writer to make us know that it was a feint, not to just like make us use like our what was it called, like our head canon or something like that, you know. Um, and yeah, so those are the two problems in Kunchi. And the other thing is like with Super Saiyan God coming back now. I think this opens up like I think we can talk about like how seriously we can take Toriyama when it comes to like what he says about the series. For a number of reasons. I mean, even before Super, we already knew that this was a guy who didn't really like manga, who kind of doesn't write with a whole lot of care either. Probably writes. Probably, yeah, I can imagine that he writes with some sort of like intent, like to please like his audience, but I don't think he really writes with a lot of care anymore. Not as much as he did during the manga, because like I said, so much stuff is being retconned, and the fact that he's working with a fan artist in Toyotaro, and the fact that you have like two different versions of Super, which have very little to do with one another. But that's not the point. The point is like, remember how at the end of Battle of Gods, Toriyama said that Goku doesn't need to transform into Super Saiyan God anymore because he's made that form's power his own, as in like he can just use it like in base form without having to transform, and at least that's the implication. Now that Goku has used Super Saiyan God not only in the manga but in the anime as well, I think we can take any sort of, and the fact that Toriyama's kind of like senile now, all those things together now, with the Super Saiyan God stuff right now being an example, we don't really have to take what he says as word of God anymore. At least I feel so. If this was Toriyama back when he was serializing the manga back like during 1984 to 1995, and it was like some sort of like Weekly Shonen Jump interview, and he would have said something, yeah, I would have taken him like yeah, this dude knows what he's talking about, because, and I'll give you an example because he paid attention to details. If you remember at the beginning of the Buu arc, Goku or because he's the author, right? He draws and writes a panel where Goku asks Krillin at the tournament at the start of the Buu arc, like, where is Tien? Meaning that he's remembered the characters. And then later, obviously, Tien comes back during or near the end of the Buu arc. Although it's only like for a small scene, but the point is that he remembers things. Now it doesn't seem that he remembers anything, or he's retconning stuff for no fucking reason, with reckless abandon, kind of destroying what made those plot points special in the first place. And he doesn't seem to realize it. But like I was saying, like with the Potara 1 hour thing, or maybe that's Toyotaro who came up with that, or someone, I don't know. Anyway, the point is like, I don't think because something has been blatantly inconsistent to what he said, and with all the other mounting piles of evidence that I had said before, I don't think you take anything that he says seriously anymore. Like any of the news, any like new interview, basically like 2013ish, I really don't pay attention to. Maybe even 2008ish, like with the Kaioshins and how there's only 3. Like how he said, I think it was in the Super Exciting Guide for 2009. I'd have to check my sources in that. Pretty sure it's not the Daizenshu, but it was a Super Exciting Guide, and yeah, now there's only 1 Kaioshin per universe. Anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. We can talk about that some other time. But the point is, like, of this video is that I thought this was the best episode in Super, and the arc so far has been pretty decent. I mean, even though Super is trash, Super's trash. Like Battle of Gods is great, and this arc is great. And you know, revival of. I still have to decide if I'm having second thoughts about whether revival of F, Resurrection F, is worse than the Zamasu stuff. I'd have to think about it, but yeah. I mean, those two arcs are garbage and shouldn't exist, but Universe 6 was meh, alright, but this arc has been pretty, it's been, I don't know if enjoyable or good is the right word, but it's been watchable, and it's not bad, I'll say. It's not bad. And this episode I thought was a good episode. It was a good episode. I liked it. So yeah. One other thing that I want to talk about real quick is Yakuza. I'm gonna try and find my mic so that when I stream Yakuza via the PS4, I'll be able to talk to you guys so I can like answer your questions and make like the stream lively. Because I know I'm only getting like 2-3 viewers per stream when I ever stream that game, and I want you guys to like enjoy that story. Because I mean, as you guys know, that's like one of my not my favorite game series, but one of my favorite game series. And with Kiwami coming out in 4 days, I'm definitely going to be streaming that. So I'll try and find my old mic. What I might try to do is if I stream it, I'll probably do like a PS4 stream and then like a live stream from the laptop, so that I can like, even if I can't find my mic, I can like talk to you while I play the game. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, it'll be kind of hard for you for the both of you to like fucking, anyway. I don't know if that'll work either, so we'll have to see. And also with Tekken, if you guys have Steam, you guys can add me on Steam, and then I can maybe stream from that too. And with that, I have a built-in mic over here. I use this, right? So with that, I'll be able to talk while I stream Tekken at least, if once I figure out how to do it. And but yeah, anyway. Great episode of Dragon Ball. Can't wait to see what happens in the next one. I think the next one. What's the next one? Oh yeah, the thing with Master Roshi. Yeah, I don't expect much from that episode, but I was happy with 104. That was a good episode. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.